Morning everyone, how are you guys doing? Today we're going to do something a little bit different that I haven't done for a while, a Q&A. I asked on Instagram for you guys to send in a bunch of questions and thankfully you sent some in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally rattle through the Instagram questions and answer as many as I can. I've come to some field in DC, as you guys may know from Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and now Instagram stories. What the hell is that all about? But anyways, I am in DC. I'm sat in a field with the White House literally right behind me over there, which seemed appropriate. And I've got my Instagram questions out, ready to go, and I'm going to start answering. So thank you to everyone who sent in questions. It does mean the world to me. I hope I answer what you guys are curious about, and I'm just going to answer as honestly as I can and get going. Let's start. First one that's been coming up a lot is, are you going to change the wrap on your car? I'm not too sure. I'm undecided. I really like the Gumball wrap. I think it's quite cool. And now that I've got the Megane GT, the Renault, I don't drive the Lotus all that much. I take it out on a sunny day or for special occasions, and for stuff like that, the wrap actually suits the character of the car to a certain extent and also brings back a bunch of good memories. So I quite like the wrap. Some people are undecided, think I should take the stickers off but leave the chrome and the matte black sort of details on the car. I'm not sure if it's possible to rip some of it off and not take everything off. If that is, I might consider doing that or go back to matte black. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure what the situation is going to be with the car, but there are more questions about that later. So wrap wise, I know about as much as you guys do. I am undecided on whether I will keep the wrap or not. When are you launching your clothing brand? So this has been coming up a bunch since I've been teasing the clothing and the watches. So we're gonna start off with watches. And we started the designs. I've already gone through and picked the ones I wanted. So the people that I sort of have already gotten in touch with, you know who you are. I'll be announcing it soon and announcing the design so you guys can see, but we're effectively going to do 3 lines of watches. We're going to do a sports, a nylon and a leather line, all at different prices, and they're actually all designed by you guys, because originally I was going to do just 2 designs from sort of subscriber submissions and 1 of my own, but I ended up liking 3 so much that I said, you know what, I'm not going to come up with anything better myself, so let's just use these 3. Those are currently being sort of designed and worked on properly with the company along with the subscribers that sort of help design them, and they'll hopefully be launched within the next 3 weeks, and they'll be between $50 and $100, and I'll give you all the links so you guys can go buy those. For the clothing, we've only just started designs. I have a bunch of ideas, but mainly my main focus for the clothing is I don't want it to be too merchandisey. I want it to just be cool stuff that you guys would go buy regardless of whether it was from my channel or anything like that. Just stuff that you would see and think, oh, that's really cool, so I want to go buy that. It's not gonna have big logos or anything. It's literally just gonna be cool clothing. I think we'll probably start with maybe some caps and t-shirts and then move on to like jackets and shoes and trousers or something from there. So exciting times ahead. I'm so psyched because I love clothing. I know I never wear anything like crazy, but I love just always being able to have my own sort of little look and sort of my own individual way of dressing myself. So I'm excited to be able to show you guys what I love, and hopefully you will like it and you'll be able to buy it and wear it yourselves. And I'll do meetups, I'll give some away maybe, and things like that. So that's pretty exciting clothing wise. Are you planning on going to university again? That's a good question actually. So some of you may know I went to university in Spain, IE University, for 4 months, and then I dropped out when business started going decent. So far I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm in a lucky position where I can wake up every day and sort of do what I love, and that is priceless to me. I'm not in this for the money, I'm more in it just for the experience and what I can do. And so far, if it's paying for me to be able to go on trips, have cars, and sort of eat and do what I want to do, then I'm happy. And so far it's doing that, so I'm happy for now with what I'm doing, and if it keeps growing the way it is, fantastic. If it stops, I'll consider going back to university, of course, but so far that's not in the near future, I don't think. I'm still young, I'm only 19. I went to university when I was 17, so I have time to sort of take some time to figure myself out and experience sort of different businesses and what I want to do, because I can always go back when I'm 21 or 22. So far, no plans to go back to university straight away. What's your dream job? Ooh, that's tricky. I've always said that if I had to have any job, my 3 dream jobs would be: number 1, a Formula 1 driver, because I think that is just the sickest thing ever. Number 2 would be a DJ. I love DJing, I love music. You guys may have seen I get involved with my friends like TJ or Pyro and different people like that, and I use their music for my videos, and I love doing stuff with them, and we're working on some big projects for the future. I have no talent in terms of singing or playing any instruments, so DJing would be the only one I'd be able to do. I've stopped, I haven't done it in a few years, but that's definitely up there. And then number 3 would probably be YouTube, doing what I'm doing now. I think it's amazing. You get to film, share your passion with others. You're able to travel the world and drive cool cars and just share what you think about these cars with other people who share the same passion. So I think that's sort of priceless, and that's definitely why I love doing what I do, and I feel extremely fortunate to be able to do that. So those are my dream jobs probably. What's the best car you have ever driven? Without a shadow of a doubt, the coolest car I've ever driven, and the one that if I could pick any car I've driven that I would drive again, would be the Pagani Zonda. Rally Briatore's yellow Pagani Zonda S Roadster is definitely the coolest car I ever drove, and I was actually really surprised because it was really easy to drive. The clutch was really easy, the car didn't feel that massive, which you think it would. It didn't feel too intimidating. Of course, when you first jump in, you're like, oh, holy shit, this is a Pagani Zonda, like what the hell. But then when you start driving a bit, it's amazing. So that would definitely be the one car, along with maybe the Aventador, that I've driven that I've just absolutely loved. Is that a tattoo on your right hand? That's another question. I get a bunch of questions asking about my tattoos. I think tattoos are an amazing way of sort of reminding yourself of things that have touched you in life, and they can sort of, if you see them every day, they remind you of things that you really care about. So I have 2 tattoos. I have this one here, which says loyalty in Japanese, and it's also traditional Chinese sort of writing, and this is in honor of a friend of mine who actually passed away, and I got it as soon as I found out. He was Japanese, and I've had that ever since. I got that when I was about 16, and this means a lot to me, and it just reminds me how being loyal to the people you love and the people that mean a lot to you, and also to what you believe in, is such an important part in life. So that means a bunch to me, and I see that every day, and it always reminds me. And then I have another one right here, which I did with my sister Chloe, and this is just to remind me how much she means to me and how much you can never underestimate how important family is. So I have that one there and this one right here, and no other plans to get any others, but I do love the 2 I have, and they do mean a lot to me. Do you have a girlfriend? This has been coming up a bunch. So do I have a girlfriend? I do not. I know you guys comment a lot of times whenever I do videos with girls if that's my girlfriend or what's going on, and no, currently I do not have a girlfriend. I am living life, I am enjoying myself, I'm traveling too much, I haven't been committed in a while, and I'm just really happy. I'm enjoying myself, and I'm able to sort of go where I want to go, and not be stuck having to sort of live my life with anyone else necessarily. So it's not to say I'm not going to have a girlfriend for a while, but anyone you've seen in videos is not my girlfriend. I am single, and yeah, I mean, I have lots of people who mean a bunch to me, and I really value my friendships with people, but no, I do not have a girlfriend currently. How do you feel about the new Instagram updates? Well, that's been an interesting one. I woke up one day and all of a sudden people were like, Snapchat is now on Instagram, and what's going to happen with Snapchat? I don't know what's going on. I love Snapchat. I love the sort of live feeling it gives you guys, and how I can sort of update you straight away with what I'm doing without having to do a post about it, and I can just see something funny and post it straight away. I like that Instagram have now managed to have that all in one platform. I think that's quite cool. And there are sides of Snapchat which means I will keep using Snapchat. I think the filters are really nice. You can tell people where you are using the filters, but I like Instagram, and I love the photos you can put on Instagram, and I love that you can now share a more live sort of aspect of things. So I'm happy with the way it's gone, and it doesn't mean I'm going to stop using Snapchat. My username is going to be down here on Snapchat, and for Instagram it's going to be up there. I like both of them, and I'm going to keep using both of them. So that's my feel on that. What is your next car goal? So those of you who know me will know that I love giving myself goals. So I'll love to say, look, I want to be at a certain amount of subscribers by this month, or I want to be able to bring my business to this extent. I want to have a clothing line by this month, or whatever. And it's the same with cars. I always wanted a Lotus Elise, and then when I was able to, I got my Lotus Elise. I wanted a daily driver. Thankfully through Renault, I've managed to sort that one out. And what's next? I mean, the logical next step would be to upgrade the Lotus at some stage. I haven't given it much thought, so I want you guys to help me think about that. But basically, I think the next step would be upgrading the Lotus at some point. Not a massive upgrade, but sort of a small upgrade to give me something with a bit more power, because I feel like my Lotus only has 136 horsepower stock without the exhaust, so maybe a tiny bit more with the exhaust. And I feel like I'm getting to the end of being able to exploit that. I feel like I can use that car to 100% of its potential and be confident and properly get everything I want to get out of it. So it would be interesting at some stage to upgrade to something with more power and then learn how to manage that power. So that's probably my next car goal, would be upgrading. I do love Lotus, so maybe staying with Lotus, I'm not too sure. But comment down below what you guys think. Obviously, a lot of you will always comment, get an Aventador or get a 570S or something like that, but those are just so expensive. Like, realistically, that's not going to happen. I need to save up to be able to get something within reason that's not mad expensive. What's your dream place to live? Well, I've been giving this a lot of thought, because through working with YouTube and the work I do, I don't necessarily need to live in one particular place. I could basically live anywhere and just keep doing my videos. But to be perfectly honest, I do think that where I live now in the south of France is probably perfect, because there are a lot of cars. It's very central in Europe to travel to a bunch of events and different things like that. The flights to the US aren't too crazy expensive. It's not like I was living in Australia and to fly to the US, it was a huge amount every time. So it is pretty special to me also because I grew up there. The weather's amazing, and overall I just enjoy it there. I've got I've got family, I've got friends, so I don't see myself moving out of the south of France anytime soon. In your lifetime, what do you think is a dream car for you that is an achievable car for you to own? I have a few. The main one I've had for a few years that I've always wanted to own and that I absolutely love is a Ferrari 458. One day I would love to have a 458 or equivalent 488 or something like that. I love those cars. I think they have so much character and they're just such fantastic cars that you can use somewhat on a daily basis. So if one day I'm in a financial position where I can afford a 458 or something like that, that's what I would definitely go for, and that's 100% a dream of mine. I'm not sponsored to be saying this or anything, but I do love Lotus. I love the brand, and I know they're going through a tricky time right now, and I love sort of associating myself with the brand and working my way up that brand. So I would love to work my way up the sort of Lotus range. That's another goal I would probably set myself, but which is also realistic. So maybe one day having an Exige or an Evora or something like that would be fantastic. What are your objectives for the future? That is tricky. I mean, so many. It's so hard to say, I want to do this, I want to do that. Mainly, all I want to do is I want to be able to keep doing what I'm doing now and bring it up a level. So, you know, do more videos with more cooler cars in cool places and different things like that. So, I mean, I genuinely just love what I'm doing now. I went through a bit of a funky period not that long ago where I was reevaluating my life and what I wanted to do, and I realized that, look, I'm just so happy and I'm so lucky and fortunate to be in a position where I started doing YouTube early enough that it's become something that can actually somewhat have financial benefits behind it, which I'm so fortunate about, because it's not easy. A lot of people try and a lot of people can't do it. So I'm fortunate to have been able to do that, and which is why now I want to put more effort into the videos to help grow this. And you guys, the support you give me and the messages you send me, I read a lot of your messages and I try to answer to most of them if I can. They just motivate me so much. When people say, look, we love your videos, or you've inspired me to do this or that, that's literally what just keeps me going and keeps me wanting to make these videos. So in the long run, my main goal would be just to grow this further and to bring you guys on a ride with me and sort of experience what it's like to live in this car world and in this exciting time in the car world that we're in, where you don't know if it's going to go electric or what's going on in the car world, and sort of be able to communicate that through the eyes of someone who's just young and loves cars. Which cameras do you use for your videos? This comes up a bunch. Right now I'm filming on a Canon 70D, which I love because it's got this wide angle, it's great for autofocus, and I got this camera literally probably a week ago, and I was using a friend's before that. I love this camera, it's fantastic for sort of shooting all over the place. I've then ordered a Canon G7X Mark II, which will be at my house when I get back from this trip, which will be fantastic for just vlogging. I can whip that in my camera and pop that out whenever I want. I have a Sony AX33 as well, which is great for zooming, great for sound as well, if I ever want to film the sound of a car. And then I use Olfi action cams, and I use those to sort of get action videos or inside talking shots when I'm driving and all that stuff. Sorry if there's any wind noise, by the way. I do have an external mic on the camera, but there is a fair amount of wind. Is the Lotus worth the money? 100%. I could not be happier with the Lotus. When I bought it, I was like, oh my god, this is so much money. I'm not sure if this is what I should be doing right now. Should I be putting my money into a car or investing it, or what should I do? And I do not regret putting the money into that, because I have loved that car ever since I got it. And it's such good value for money in terms of the feel it gives you. You feel like you're somewhat, I know it's not a supercar, it's just a sports car, but you feel like you're in this special sort of loud, I mean in my case with the Larini exhaust, loud, quick car that gives you so many sensations. You're so connected with the car that for the price, there's not much that can give you as much of a thrill when you drive it. If it wasn't for YouTube, what would you see yourself doing? Ooh, that's tricky, because you only think about improving on what you're doing when you're doing it, rather than doing something completely different. I mean, I would still be working in the car industry, either managing other people's YouTube channels, working maybe in the entertainment business with music, helping my friends sort of grow in that business, working in car sales, app development. All those areas really interest me, and I dabble in them a bit still today. But no, I mean, definitely it would still be something to do with the car world. I don't know exactly what, but it would be something to do with cars, because that's my #1 passion. What would your dream 3-car garage be? Ooh, well, I mean, my dream car, Pagani's Honda 760 Roadster with a manual. I would have to have one of those, because I think they're amazing. I would then probably have a 458 Speciale Aperta, because that's just a stunning car. And then I don't need a practical car. I don't have a family or anything, so I would maybe then go for an Aventador SV Roadster, because I love the Aventador as well. So that would maybe be my dream 3-car garage, within reason. I mean, obviously, if I could get any 3 cars, I'd get like a Zonda, a LAF, and a Koenigsegg Agera, or 1-to-1 or something like that. But, you know, keeping it sort of somewhat reasonable, those would be my 3 cars. Who do you look up to the most? I mean, I have a bunch of idols that I look up to. Main people I look up to the most have to be my mum, my dad, and my sister, because they're amazing people and they inspire me every single day. Apart from that, people you guys would know, I think Nelson Mandela's an amazing inspiration to everyone. The stuff he did and the sort of the strong spirit he had are amazing things. I think Barack Obama is an extremely smart man. I look up to him as well. And there's just so many people. I mean, you have to sort of grab inspiration. There's no perfect person, so what you need to do is you need to grab inspiration from a bunch of little people and be like, that guy does that well, that guy does that well. Even just friends. I have a bunch of friends that inspire me, and that's why I strongly believe that you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. So I try to just surround myself with people that keep me going and motivate me to do better in life. So I wouldn't say there's one person who's my particular idol. I'd say there are lots of different features and different people that I sort of idolize and look up at. How did you come to the idea of being a YouTuber? Most people don't realize I've been doing this for a long time. I started when I was 14, just filming random cars. People are also looking at me like, well, who the hell is this guy sitting in a field just filming himself? No, anyways, YouTube, how I started it, just filming cars, wanting to share my passion. And then when I turned the camera around and started vlogging, it just happened. I was never like, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to start doing YouTube, because when I started, that wasn't really a thing. And then it just happened, and bit by bit, I've sort of realized, whoa, look, some people like watching your stuff, so keep doing it. And I love listening to what you guys want to see, and it's an amazing business to be involved with. Such a growing new business, no one really knows where it's going, so I just love sort of being able to do what I want to do and experiment with different types of videos. You know, I experimented with daily vlogging, that didn't necessarily work, so now I know that I'm going to just step my quality up, little things like that. And I really enjoy how there's no particular formula to succeed in this. Everyone has their own way of doing it. I quite like that. When you have to replace the Lotus, what will you replace it with? I've basically answered that already. I'm not too sure. I'll update you in maybe a garage update video at some point. I might do a full video on my thoughts about that. You know what, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a full video about that. Are you going to wrap the Megane GT? Nope, because I love the color, and also I think it's not the type of car you'd necessarily wrap, so that's gonna stay blue. How did you make your life so successful at your age? It's always an awkward question, because I know what you guys see looks amazing, right? Traveling around, driving all these cool cars. With YouTubers, with all these people involved in social media, you only see snippets of our lives, which are the glamorous parts, the sort of really exciting parts, and you only really see that. And sure, I'm successful enough to be happy and to do what I want to do. I wouldn't say I'm like an insanely successful person. I think I've done things that have worked. I've done a bunch of things that have failed as well, and I've learned from that. But I wouldn't say, you know, I'm some like ultra successful young teenage guy. I'm just a dude who's doing what he loves and is able to live off it, which is fun so far. But But I mean, the main thing that I've always stuck by is if you love something and you pursue it and you feel like you're good at it, then there's, you know, the sky's the limit. As long as you put the effort in, you'll be able to do it. So I think the main thing that's maybe gotten me to this point of being able to do what I love is just the theory of doing what you love and working hard at it. I'd have to say. How's your sister? She's well. Chloe's doing good. Are you gonna do any more trips or meetups with other YouTubers? I love going on trips and I love doing videos with other YouTubers. So we have a few things planned. We're gonna be doing a bunch of videos with Paul in the next couple of weeks, who's gonna be coming down to Monaco, so that will be really fun. We're going to do a bunch of collabs, Supercars of London, you guys probably know who Paul is. Then we're thinking of doing another trip to Dubai, possibly. I'm not going to do Monterey or Pebble Beach just because I couldn't justify the cost of flying there, staying there. It's ludicrously expensive. I did it last year and the year before because I happened to be in the area when it was going on, so I could sort of justify just going up there, but it ends up being, ooh, there's a bug. It ends up being a really expensive trip. If you get the flights, you have to stay there, you have to get a car, you have to get the tickets to all the events, things like that. I just couldn't justify it. So I reckon the next trips coming up will be probably the UK for a little while in the next few months, possibly Dubai and something with Paul. And then Sam's going to be in the US for a little while, so probably not going to do much with him until potentially Dubai. But yeah, we shall see. Will you do next year's Gumball? Hopefully. I bloody well hope so. I love Gumball, so that would be cool. I don't know yet, it's very early to say. What's your favorite drink? Well, ladies and gents, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I've stopped drinking alcohol, and I sort of try and live a slightly more sort of healthy life. I sound like John Olsen right now. Hey ho, it's the fact. I don't drink alcohol anymore, and my favorite drinks, I only drink water, fizzy water and milk. I don't do any fizzy drinks like Coca-Cola, Sprite or anything like that. Those are my 3 drinks. I stick to water, milk and fizzy water, and that's all basically that I'll drink. So there you go. I'll end it there before the video gets way too long. There's also a security person coming up right now. Thank you for watching as per usual. Thank you for all of the questions. I'm sorry I couldn't respond to all of them, but I have read pretty much every question that you guys sent in, and I just rattled through some to answer. But mainly I just want to say a big thank you for all the support. I'm thinking of maybe putting a small video together of my trip here to DC, but it's basically just been family and chilling, so I've filmed a bit. I'm not sure if I have enough to do a full video, so what I might do is just another one of these, me talking to you and explain to you why we came here, what we did, and just put a few clips in there. So I might work on one of those. I'll do a full garage update video, then I want to film a few more videos when I get back. So exciting times ahead. Thank you for the questions, and thank you for being supportive as you always have been. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Please remember to subscribe if you aren't already. Comment any questions you have down below for maybe another Q&A coming up. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I do enjoy them, and I enjoy seeing what you guys wonder about. And yeah, it's been fun. I will see you guys very soon. Cheers. Bye. The S diesel. On the Macan Turbo, you have these 2 little running lights, and on this car, they've actually been painted black here with a black grille, which looks really nice. But I seem to remember when speccing out this car that you can get the Macan Turbo body kit for the S diesel. It's like 8,000 euros or something though. The front little fog lights here are different, so basically the whole front bumper is slightly different. You can't tell unless you look carefully, but there is a little difference here. So let's move a bit further back in the car, and I'll show you the other differences that there are between this one and this one. So